Very warm welcome, Dr. N. Krishna Kumar, sir. You may please go ahead with your presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the nice introduction.
Thank you very much.
A very warm welcome to all the participants and organizers of the program. At the very outset itself, let me congratulate and at the same time express my sincere, heartfelt thanks to the organizers of the international prestigious program, especially the backbone of the program, Prakash Divagar sir. So I would like to make a brief presentation on the chief theme of the seminar, that is sustainable business development. I will not take much time. I will be dealing with the main areas like sustainable development. What is sustainable business development? How that concept has originated, how that has developed in the international level, and thereafter, if time allows, I will make a visit on various replicable models in the international scenario, in the international level for sustainable business development, especially the model from Indonesia, a model from Indonesia. How the concept of sustainable development has been accepted and assimilated in the business system in Indonesia. That also we'll discuss if there is time. So let me start with the idea of sustainable development. Origin of the idea of sustainable development. How the idea of sustainable development has originated and what is sustainable development. All of us know we are living in a world which is threatened by environmental pollution. The word environment is familiar to all of us. What is environment? Actually, environment is a term derived from the French root environ, which means to surround. So environmental means relating to surroundings. So whatever we do, whatever we have, whatever we enjoy, all those things should be, all those matters should be in consonance with, in tune with the environmental protection. So we should respect our environment. That doesn't mean, but we know that when we run after environment, when we run for the protection of environment, naturally there will be a setback in the field of industry. So wherever there is industrial growth, where there is business growth, naturally there will be a degradation of environment. So they are inversely proportionate in the sense when one goes up, the other goes down. When we are moving for the industrial development, naturally there will be a degradation of environment. So these are moving in two opposite poles. So what we have to have is we have to bring these two concepts together. We should bring these two concepts below the same yoke. That idea is called sustainable development. That means both should go hand in hand. Both in the sense, industry should go along with environment protection. Industry should develop without harming, without injuring environment. That is the idea of environment development. All of us know these things. How this concept of sustainable development has come in the business field. When we trace the history of sustainable development of business, we have to go back to 1972. That year is a landmark in the development in the path of environment. That was the year in which, for the first time in the world, we have had an international conference in this area. That is called Stockholm Declaration. That was in the year 1972. In that conference, various nations participated, including India. Mrs. Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India at that time, she participated in the international conference on behalf of India. In that conference, 20 principles were derived or developed. Some of the main ideas which emerged through that international conference are: one is this idea of sustainable development of business. Another area is poverty alleviation. Third area is environmental protection. These are then one more area is there. We should preserve our resources for future generation. That means the available resources like petroleum and petroleum products which are available in the world level now, we should not utilize it and exhaust in an exhaustive manner. That means we should preserve it. We should retain it for the future generation also. So these were the main postulates developed in that international event. First among them is the topic of our webinar program today, that is sustainable development of business. How can we have business? How can we have industrial development without injuring, without harming the environment? That means environmental protection as well as the industrial development, both of them should go hand in hand. That idea emerged in 1972. Actually, based on this idea, in India, we have had several programs. One among them is familiar to all of us, that is Garibi Hataao. That is, Garibi Hataao means is poverty alleviation program developed by the former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. Actually, she has got the spirit. She got the inspiration for shaping such a program based on this international event, that is 1972 event, the first event in the world, that is Stockholm Declaration. Actually, that event, that is the Stockholm Declaration, started on June 5th of 1972. All of us know that day, June 5th, that is celebrated in the world as World Environment Day. That is because of this international event. Anyway, she gave birth to 3 laws in India after the international event. One is famous one, that is Environmental Protection Act 1986. Next one is Water within bracket Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974. Then Air within bracket Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981. These were the 3 products of her participation in the international event. So the major contribution of this 1974 Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act and the Air Prevention and Control of Prevention Act 1981 is we are having pollution control board. Pollution control board in the national level as well as in the state level. They were constituted, they were established to ensure that our business development, our business growth should not be against the environment, should not go against the environmental protection endeavors of the state. Not only in business area, pollution caused by vehicle and all other means and source of environmental pollution, they should not exceed a certain limit. That is the main objective of developing a concept called a pollution control board. We put it in short form PCB. This PCB is the product of these laws, these 2 laws. In these 2 laws, we are having provisions regarding how to constitute pollution control board, how they should function. All these things are there. Due to lack of time and due to irrelevance of the topic here, I am not going into the details of that. Then another idea came in India. That idea is nothing but this one. State is the protector of environment. State should take all and make all endeavors to develop business, to develop industry, and at the same time, state should also ensure that attempt on the part of the state should not go against our environment, our environmental protection. That idea is entrusted in a that idea is that duty obligation is entrusted with the state, and that idea has emerged through a very famous case in India. You may have heard about that case, MC Mehta versus Kamalnath. Kamalnath, that was the name of the case. In that case, Supreme Court has laid down this idea. That idea is called public trust doctrine. Public trust doctrine. What does it say? We have entrusted, we the people of India have entrusted the duty or obligation. We have to distinguish between duty and obligation. These two terms appear to be similar or synonym. Actually, these are two different topics, two different ideas. Duty, all duties are not obligations. Obligation means that duty which is legally enforceable. Only legally enforceable duties are obligations. In other words, we can say like this: all duties are not obligations. Obligations are those duties which can be enforced through court. So, in other words, we can explain like this: duties are genus, and obligations are some species. Obligations are species and duties are genus. All obligations are duties and not vice versa. What I am trying to say is that it is the obligation of the state to protect the environment on behalf of the people of India. That idea is called a doctrine of sustainable development, and that idea has emerged in the world level through a decision by the Indian Supreme Court in the famous case MC Mehta. MC Mehta is quite familiar to all of us. There is a foundation in his name, MC Mehta Foundation, which is launching so many programs for the development of this idea of sustainable development, environmental protection, and other related matters. So my point is this: in this case, court are derived this idea. Or how our Supreme Court has got its strength to develop that idea. Actually, that is there in our Constitution itself. You know, Constitution of India is the paramount law of India. You know, in the Constitution itself, in Part 4A of Constitution, that is fundamental duties. We call it fundamental duties. Actually, these fundamental duties ideas are borrowed mainly from USSR, former USSR. So there are 11 fundamental duties. Among them, 51 is the article which is 51 capital A is the article dealing with the fundamental right. In 51A, starting from small a to small k, 11 fundamental duties are there. Among those fundamental duties, the seventh one, that is 51 capital A small g within bracket capital A, 51 capital A within bracket small g speaks about this idea of sustainable development. It says all of us should try to guard our environment, to protect our environment. Similarly, in Part 4 of the Constitution, the principles in Part 4 of Constitution are borrowed from Ireland. In Article 36 to 51 of Indian Constitution deal with the directive principles of state policy. What is directive principles of state policy? A group of principles which guide the nation, a group of ideas which guide the nation. So among them, 48 capital A says it is the duty of the state to protect the environment. So taking into account of these two principles, the idea has been developed, that is the public trust doctrine. That is public trust doctrine. So this is a model in India. Let us see a sustainable development of business model in Indonesia. When you go to Indonesia, there you can see, there you can see, when you go to Indonesia, there you can see a replicable model, which we can make a point of discussion and debate in this forum. Let me present that model. With that presentation, I will conclude my keynote address. So I am now concentrating on the idea of sustainable development of business followed in Indonesia. There, when you start a new venture, new business, you have to register with the government, as we are doing it here in India. There you have to register with the government. Government will watch your business development closely. Government means government and machinery. if you are causing zero pollution or pollution below a particular standard or limit fixed by the authorities, you will be graded as gold medalist. Gold medalist means you will be given a gold ribbon that you can exhibit in your name board and all for your business purpose. That means you are not causing much environmental pollution. If you are causing environmental pollution, but not beyond a particular limit, but exceeding the limit which I have just mentioned, you will be given another level, that is green label or green ribbon or green badge. That means you are considering environment. The other one is you are completely protecting environment. The next level is you are considering environment. Green badged industries and green badged business. Third category is the dangerous one. That means you are causing more environment than the prescribed limits. There is more harm to the environment, more pollution to the environment than the prescribed limit. Then you will be labeled as a red category. That means it will be difficult for you to survive in the business field. Then there is a last category, that is black category. If you exceed the all limits, all the prescribed limits, beyond all the limits, if you go beyond all these limits, you will be categorized in the black category and you will be blacklisted and your business will be closed within no time. So this is the model followed in Indonesia. Very difficult to implement in a country where there is pressure tactics from the political corners. So what I would like to say is that anyway, that is a replicable model in the area of sustainable development of business for other countries. Especially, I think we are having delegates from other nations also. They will also share their ideas. Then, if there is time, let me present one more model, one more good model of sustainable development of business. I think we can have a discussion on that model also. That model is this one. Suppose I am having a pen business. Pen means pen we used to be used for writing. I am making pen of plastic. Prakash Divakar sir is having another industry. He is making pen out of bamboo. See the difference? My material, the material I am using for making pen is no doubt non-biodegradable substance. Prakash sir's pen is made of biodegradable material, bamboo or wood or biodegradable substance like paper and all. So if I want to bring my pen in the market, suppose the cost of production, business margin, that is profit, everything comes to around 5 rupees or less than 5 rupees. I can sell the pen for 5 rupees. Prakash sir also can sell the pen for 5 rupees. But as per this model, I can sell the pen only for 6 rupees. Why? Out of the sale proceeds of 6 rupees, I have to pay 1 rupees to the government as extra tax for sustainable development business. How is it spent? That money will be kept in a separate account, separate treasury, and that will be used for repairing the hazardous effect or hazardous impact caused by my pen, that is plastic pen, in future. That means in future, plastic will be a plastic insulation. We describe it as plastic insulation around the earth, which will be a great threat to our environment. And in future, this fund can be utilized. This is also another replicable model. We can have discussion on these models in this forum. I think it is the appropriate forum to discuss all these things. So with these small ideas which I have gathered through studying the replicable models in other countries, I would like to put forward these ideas before you to have discussion as well as debate. So once again, I would like to thank the chief organizer of the program, my dear Prakash Divagar sir, for providing this wonderful platform, for presenting my humble views as well as my suggestions. Thank you one and all for the patient listening. Thank you very much. Okay, right.
Thank you very much, sir.